I thought I'd give you a progress update on my cutting room, which is sort of like my cutting fabric storage notions and all of that. So before it was an utter mess. So what I did is basically I emptied out the whole room. So this is now, I'll just step back, coming into the doorway. So not finished yet, but I've got the foundations all laid out and moved all the furniture around. So in the centre of the room, this will be my cutting table, which the top is still a door. I have used a door top for a cutting table for years now. Underneath, I've got the Ikea, are they Ikea? No, I think these were from Bunnings, which they're similar to the Ikea drawers. And actually I think these were Ikea. And I've got the casters on there, so the one on the end here, that's still movable, so I can move that around. So that's the two by two drawers, so there's 4 drawers in there. Underneath this side is the 2 by 4. And what I've done as well with this one is I've taken the drawers out of this end, so this can be where I can store like rolls of interfacing, vinyl, things like that. So I've got plenty of room to go right through and store those in under there, so you can see through there. Haven't set up all these drawers properly how I'd like this one here. This is all like my paints and things like that, leather edge coat and that. So I probably will still use those under there as storage, but I would like to try and keep the baskets in there, just so that when you first walk into the room, it's nice and neat, just in case, not that anyone sees it except me. So I've got the cutting mats on the table. You'll see over this side, they do hang over a bit, and I haven't secured them down. They stay in place pretty well, but I can slide them back to give me more room over that side, which I'll show you again shortly. And I've decided to put my pressing Elna press on the table here, because most times, 9 times out of 10, when I'm cutting my fabric and I'm cutting my interfacing, I can have my press on and then I can fuse my interfacing while I'm cutting, and it's right there ready to use. So she's an oldie, but she's a goodie. Works perfectly for what I need. On each side of the tabletop, I've put the bookcases in. Haven't set up the shelves and all that yet, but I did decide that I am going to put in one of my doll's sewing rooms on one of the shelves. I'm not sure where yet. That's just some of it there, not set up fully properly yet. And I will have a little working shelf here. So here you can see I've got all my scissors and rotary cutters and cutting blades and things like that. They're things that I access on a regular basis. And here's my little, it's a handbag insert, but I actually use it to hold little sewing supplies and that there. So they're all there ready to go, like tracing wheels, chalk markers, pattern notches, loop turners. And these were just a couple little memory keepsakes. That was from my 40th birthday, which now I'm 53, so that's 13 years old. This one here is my little gorgeous little smelly lavender bear. I bought this for myself. I had to have it. Actually, I bought it for the dolls, but decided to keep it for myself. That's just another little teddy. I don't know why I love that. And I've got my own little notes that I've had for years. A note from Chris Lucas, a little post-it notepad. And down here at the moment, I've got my cutting rulers, measuring rulers and things like that for dressmaking as well as for bag making. I am thinking that I may, I'm not sure, put some hooks on the side of the cupboard here and have them hanging so that they are out of sight. But I may not. I'll just see how I go. I might just set up a shelf in there for them permanently. And then on my back wall here, I've set up, I've got a 4x4 cube shelving. Actually, these are from Ikea, I just remembered. And I've got my little drawers in there, they come in handy. And I've got baskets and that there. Haven't set it up properly yet for this room. Still working on exactly what I want where. But I do love having some stationery. I've had this little drawer stationery set for years. So I can keep like tapes and things like that. Post-it notes are all in there. And then I've got tapes and paper clips and all that. And more in there. So it's like a little go-to stationery set that I've had for years and love that little thing. And here I might just keep some of my little works in progress. Another bag that I'm just about finished making. Just got to do the handle for that one. So that's all ready to go. This one's got gold hardware. And I think it's beautiful. Nothing really set up in there, just a bit of work in progress. And for those of you who probably know, I'm a bit of a doll lover and I love my American Girl dolls. And I did have set up a gorgeous little sewing studio for my American Girl dolls. So I decided, because I was a bit short on space, I've set up the top of this cube cabinet as their sewing studio. And then I can change the props and things like that as they're going along. Oh, you can see a little tushy in there. There's someone in the change room. These girls here are having a bit of fun. Belle and Julie. They've still got their rack around the back there. They can hang their patterns on. And they've got a pegboard. And they've got a cutting table. Pressing station. 2 sewing machines over here, one over there and one there. They've got all their threads and bits and bobs like most of us do in our sewing rooms. And they've even got the little replica Ikea cart to put all their little pieces in. So I've just only quickly just sort of put the pieces up there, trying to decide what pieces I wanted to keep and what I could fit on that shelf. So I think it's turned out pretty cool. So that will stay up there for now. This little backdrop just makes me smile whenever I look at those. Now I'll just take you around to the other side wall. So on this wall here, I've got this shelf, the bench top here. This was left over from when we built our kitchen. So it was one of the panels that they used on one of the side walls or something, and it wasn't quite right, so it was left over. So I've decided to make myself another bench top. It's just sitting on top of these plastic drawers that I've also had for years. It's the perfect height, so when I come over to here, it's sort of at my waist. So, and it fitted well under my existing pegboard that I had set up there. And these are my little inspiration boards, just for things that I like to play with and have a bit of fun while I'm practicing or trying out a different technique. I love this little fan. One of the girls ladies that I work with, she actually stuck some diamantes on it for me, because she knows how much I love my bling. So she gave that to me for Christmas. It was a little fun little present. So it also makes me happy. So I thought I'd put it up on the wall as well. And then here I've got my pegboard, which is still in the same spot. I've got some hardware that I need to add up onto the wall because I've got heaps more and needed some more pegs. So that will basically stay the same at this stage anyway. Sort of have things colour coordinated. Got the silver hardware, gold hardware. I've got brass, antique brass. I've got rainbow. I've got black metal, and I've got rose gold. And I've got quite a lot more to go up on that wall. I'll show you, look too. This here, I made this years ago. It was a little art sort of piece that I did with quilting. Just had some fun, really good fun making this. I think I was following a class on what used to be called Craftsy, and made this piece here. It's just backed with black. So I really would love to hang that up on the wall, and I'm thinking I might put it up on the wall there in the middle there. We'll see. Or I've got that bit of wall space over there as well. So now when I come around this side, I've got two 4 cube cubby things that I've turned into make one bench top. I'm thinking I might put my cricket maker machine on the bench top here, or leave it clear and put my machine over on a shelf when I put the shelves into this bookshelf here. Put my machine over there, keep this as a nice clear working space so that when I want to use my machine, I can just set it up on the table with whatever size cutting mats I'm using. You can see there I've still got a bit of junk there. The boxes there, the floral ones, what I set these up for, I did this a long time ago. Inside here, I have all my big 4 sewing patterns. So they all sit in there perfectly. So I can just pull one out whenever I need it. I even have labels on them. So big 4 sewing patterns, and they're in numerical order. So if I am looking to see if I have got a pattern of a particular number from one of the big sewing pattern companies, I can easily find it just by searching through numerically. Not sorted by brand or anything. So I thought too, with these plastic tubs, instead of having my fabrics on the shelves, on the bookshelves, I may put some of them into these drawers. I already utilise these drawers for like my interfacings and things like that. They're already in a lot of these tubs, woven interfacings, but this is like adhesives and tapes and things like that. But I've emptied some of the drawers out, so they're still quite empty. Not sorted from where I was using them before. That's like a little throw-all, pencil cases, pens, rulers, that sort of thing. Here I've got bias binding, I've got zippers, tissues for when I make tissue covers. So this holds lots and lots of dressmaking scissors and jeans zippers and bias tape. Pre-bought tape and plus tape that I've made myself. This has all my elastics. You can just go, I've got thin elastics, fold over elastics, all sorts of sizes. Not tidy, but I know where they are. This houses Velcro. Not sure, I don't remember. Oh, this has all of my buttons. Believe me, I have a lot of buttons. I have got heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps. Pretty buttons. There's just buttons I've collected over the years. Buttons that I've been given from my mother-in-law, my husband's grandmother, colours. I have a huge variety of buttons and press studs and sort of all that sort of thing lives in that tub. This, I can't remember what I've got in these ones yet. More interfacing, so I need to sort of rearrange them and put them in more of a organised order. And I've got more empties. And my crocodile, press studs, snaps, things like that. So yeah, does need a bit more organising. But I think so far it's turned out well. On my door I've got an over the hook, couple of loose hooks over the door, and in here are all my number 5 zipper tapes and zipper pulls. So like my rose gold tape, I've got silver, and all the pulls and that are all in, so they're all colour coordinated. I've got the black with antique gold, I've got rainbow, I've got rainbow pulls, I've got navy, got a bit of extra, that was a bright gold, so not all utilised yet, but it will be. Behind here, I've got more storage. I've got some little cabinets, little over the door hanger things. I've emptied a lot of them out, so they're free, so I can reorganise them. More of my rulers that are hanging as well. They've been hanging on the hooks below here. More my dressmaking rulers and grading rulers for when I'm grading patterns. Some of my patterns that I've made myself, like this one here, was from the leather bag that I made, and I wanted a window so I could place that pattern piece exactly where I wanted it. And I've just got a bit of board sitting there. So I've utilised pretty much every spare inch of my room, and I think once I've got all the drawers and cubes and all that set up and my shelves, I think it's going to be a really practical, usable workspace. Now into the sewing room, which was tidy, but what I did when I was emptying out the cutting room, I put some of the fabrics and extra pieces. So like these baskets, they've got a quilt project, so that's a bit of an unfinished project I'm working on. So the things that are in these baskets, they're usually project baskets that I'll use. They need to all get put away. The box and the 2 tubs there, they're full of fabric. And this here this is a piece of wood that my husband routed for me. And I'll put my leather strap pieces in there for when I want to edge coat, paint with the edge coat on the edges of the raw edges of the leather. I put the straps through there, and I can feed it from one end and loop it around and bring it down this end if I've got really long straps. The baskets sitting on over the top, they need to be emptied out and put back into that room, because this sewing room was spotless. My snap press for my rivets needs to go back in, so does that little purple box. And that black box, it's a little empty box there. These tubs and sewing machine feet, they all need to get put away. This box here, this has got vinyls and things like that in there, so they all need to go into my sewing room. I can't wait to use this vinyl. It is beautiful. Look at that gorgeous pink. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to make a bag out of that. And then I also bought this, which actually, when it arrived, it came from Germany. And it's a beautiful purple rainbow. Oh, it's just gorgeous, feels divine, so I can't wait to make something with that as well. So of course it will also be a bag. So all those materials, there's some leather in there, some vinyl, that all needs to go back into my cutting room, so that this room is all tidy again. It was beautifully set up, and I think that's about all I need to show you. I will set up some camera equipment in here as well, so that when I start filming my sew-alongs, I can have the frames or the arms and that are going to hold the cameras already set up, and I just have to place the cameras in. So just will make it quicker and easier for me for when I'm filming, so I can film cutting out and pressing and things like that. And I thought having the window here and then my cutting table there, it should give me some good natural lighting as well for filming. So if I was to do overhead, I'm not sure how I'll set it up yet. I know my hubby won't want to put holes in the roof, although this room still needs painting. We haven't touched this room or my other room from when we moved in. How gorgeous is that little doll sewing studio? Love it. Wish I had a room that was that big. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the little update on the progress that I've made so far on my cutting room. Okay then, till next time, have a great day. Bye.